So today we begin the third limb in our 8-limb series of classical yoga, which we've been practicing since the beginning of the calendar year. So we started with 5 weeks on the yamas, which are the yogic restraints, things like non-violence, non-stealing, non-harming, non that. And then we just finished up 5 weeks on the niyamas, which are the observances, the things that you should do. So contentment, purification, self-discipline, self-study. And last week, which was really fun, surrender. So we've made it through the first two, which are very philosophical in their application. Um, they're not commandments. Want to make sure they're not commandments. It's okay if you break them or you don't do them perfectly, but they are principles by which to live by. And so now we kind of transition from more principle side of the 8 limbs to more of the practice side of the 8 limbs, or center of the 8 limbs, which will constitute asana, which we'll practice for the next 3 weeks, and it constitutes pranayama, which we'll do, and we'll do several weeks from now, and pratyahara, and we'll slowly make our way through the rest of the 8 limbs. We won't spend as much time in each limb as we have in the past because there's not as much to work with. If you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Anywho, asana is what we are working on for the next 3 weeks, starting today. And asana, translated, just means posture. It means seat. It's interesting to note that Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras where the 8 limbs live, only mentions yoga asana 3 times in the course of like a giant, huge tome. And it's because asana wasn't originally supposed to be the central focus of yoga. That is something that is very new. That is within the last 100 years or so, especially as yoga has made its way into the more popular, Americanized, Western, to use that term, world. And this is why one reason why I love teaching this series is because we get to ground asana back where it kind of belongs. It's great to practice. I'm not saying don't do your down dogs and your vinyasas and stuff. Still do that, but know the reason why we practice that. And the reason why we practice yoga asana is so that we can sit comfortably in meditation without being distracted by our bodies. So it kind of falls under like the self-care lens, not so much the athletic or acrobatic, which, the good news is when you practice yoga asana, you do become more flexible, you do become more coordinated. That's perfect. Keep practicing it for those reasons, but knowing that there's this deeper reason behind it. And we know that we have mastered a yoga posture when we have achieved steadiness in it, we've achieved calm in it. Or another way to talk about it is calm and ease. We want to feel calm when we're the pose, and we want to feel like we're comfortable in it as well, which is hard to do in some postures, but that's the way that we know we have mastered a pose. It's not standing on your head, thank God, and it's not levitating or anything weird like that. It is just being able to practice a pose and feel comfortable and to feel steady in it at the same time. And so for the next 3 weeks, we're going to practice different ways of experiencing yoga asana. Tonight, we're going to do an energetic practice that focuses around vinyasa. And then next week, we'll focus on yin style yoga, which is where we hold postures. And then a special treat for the last week is going to be restorative yoga, which I'm super excited about. I love restorative yoga. But today, we'll focus on vinyasa for today. And vinyasa is probably like the most popular form of yoga that we tend to see here in the States, at least. And this is like your power yoga. This is where kind of Bikram went with his yoga, like this whole like moving fast, burning calories, calisthenic type stuff. When done in context, it's great. It's great to do that. And it's good to note that vinyasa at its core, why it was originally developed, wasn't because so much because of athleticism, but because when you move through postures from one to another, as you breathe, sequenced with the breath, we learn to maintain that steadiness and ease as we're moving from moment to moment in our yoga practice. And of course, that translates into our lives, moving from moment to moment in our lives. We learn to breathe as we move through, our meetings and through our schedules. And we tend to stay a bit more regulated. That's a reason to practice vinyasa. And yes, flexibility and burning calories all kind of happens with that. But it's really a practice for the mind, as most of these practices are. So you might start to notice your mind drifting off, and all of a sudden you're not breathing with the movement, and you have to kind of bring yourself back again and again. It's calling you back to the present moment so that you know exactly what you're doing, even when the body is in movement. So that is what we're going to explore tonight, Vinyasa. It's going to be a fun one, probably a little challenging, but we'll make it work. Of course, there's always the invitation to sit something out or to stop moving if you need to. Um, but we're gonna have fun with this one. Sound good? All right, so go ahead and sit comfortably. We'll go ahead and get centered. And it's a long diatribe, but I had to introduce the entire thing. So sitting tall, relax your shoulders down your back, feel the crown of the head lift toward the ceiling, and close your eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And allow your awareness to drop into your body, resting here. Just noticing what's here for us in this body right now. There might be discomfort, soreness, tension. There might be a sense of ease and comfort, that steadiness, probably both. You might feel fatigue or restlessness. As you sit here and just witness the body as it is in this moment, you'll notice that there are reasons to want to move the body around or to stretch a bit before you actually come to sit in this pose for too long. The body has to be conditioned, it has to be ready to sit. And that works for the energetic side of the spectrum as well. So if you're feeling tired or restless, a certain type of practice, physically speaking, can help to bring you into a state of balance so you can have that steadiness and that ease, that comfort in this pose. Maybe you're already noticing where there's a sense of steadiness and ease, even if it's not your entire experience, allowing it to be at least part of this experience. And before we come out of this part of our practice, just notice the breath here, flowing in and flowing out. The breath is your home. The breath is where we return to when the mind wanders or become dysregulated. So as we move through our practice tonight, you might feel challenged or triggered, or just completely distracted by something not here, maybe dissociating. It's okay. Just bring your awareness back to the breath and grounding back into whatever we're doing at that moment. This inhale and this exhale. Allowing that to be our intention, let's go ahead and chant Om 3 times. Deep breath in. Om. Om. Bring your palms to your heart, lower the chin, honor yourself as you are in this moment, body, breath, energy, and mind. It's in service of all of that we will practice tonight. So go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. Take your heated palms over your eyes, brushing back over the top of your head, down your neck, slowly, gently bringing yourself back to the space around you. And we're going to come onto hands and knees to start. Table pose, please. All right, so having the hands under your shoulders and knees beneath the hips or slightly further back. Inhale, look forward. Feel the tailbone lift. Exhale, Balasana, child's pose. And let's just start to move between these two poses. Inhale, back up. And exhale, release back, child's pose. Let's keep going. And I want you to move on the flow of your breath. So you're breathing as long as you're moving, and you're moving as long as you're breathing. The exhale runs out at the moment the seat hits the heels, and the inhale reaches its apex the same time you reach the full expression of hands and knees pose. Starting to warm up the spine here a little bit, the hips and shoulders, the arms. Really starting to establish that linking of your breath and your movement. That is Vinyasa. Allowing the breath to help keep us present as we move from pose to pose, as we change. The only thing constant in life is change. So if we can practice being steady and relatively comfortable, moving from posture to posture, we can be steadier in the midst of change in our lives. Good, let's begin to add on to this flow. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, curl the toes under, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, but we're gonna keep moving. Inhale, float back down onto hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back up to hands and knees, curl the toes under, again, downward facing dog. And then float back down onto hands and knees. And exhale, child's pose. Please keep moving between these three postures. Inhaling to hands and knees. Exhaling to down dog or child's pose, alternating between the two. And as I mentioned before, we're moving as long as we're breathing and breathing as long as you're moving. Really allow the breath and movement to be completely synced up. And that takes practice, so just do your best. Notice when the mind wanders, you might lose that linking of the breath and movement. We're going to keep moving, so just bring it back once you realize it has moved along. Just root it right back here. Good. We're going to add on to this a little bit, or actually we're going to shift a bit. So coming into downward facing dog, then inhale into plank pose. Exhale, plank yourself all the way down to the ground, all the way down, hands under the shoulders. Then inhale, lift the head, chest, and legs, locust pose. Exhale, float back down, curl the toes under, either hands and knees to down dog or plank straight up and back. Let's do that again. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, plank yourself all the way down to the earth. Pelvis grounds, head, chest, and legs lift, locust pose, inhale. Exhale, float down, push up, and downward facing dog. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release, push up and back. Again, inhale, plank and down. Locust rise. And release, pushing up and back. Changing this flow up again, we'll move through Danda Kriya now. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. 1 inch from the floor. Go ahead and push the arms straight. Take the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale, pull back into downward facing dog. Again, inhale, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing and downward facing dog. Keeping it moving. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do a couple more times, all right? Warming up this body. Last one. Landing in downward facing dog. Go ahead and stay now. And take an adjusting breath. It's the first time actually stopping moving tonight. And then if you need to, walk the dog out of it here. Pressing a heel to the floor, bending the opposite knee, lengthen the legs, length in your spine. And then inhale, float down onto hands and knees. And exhale, child's pose. Let's stay here for just a few breaths. When we come to these points of stopping, keep your awareness with the breath. You're welcome to be aware of what's happening in the body, of course, but again, the breath is our grounding point here. Good, then inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, inhale into plank pose again. Bring the sides of the feet together, so the feet come together. And then pivot onto your left foot and left hand. Good, right hand come on your right hip. If you need to, your right foot can come step in front of you to keep you stable here. But if not, bow the hips toward the ceiling. Side plank, everybody's favorite. You could even lift the right arm into the air. You could even sweep it overhead, creating a bigger arch throughout the whole body. Breathe. Deep breath in. And exhale, bring the right hand down. Go ahead and plank all the way to the floor. Good. Pressing the hips into the ground, lift the head, chest, and legs, locust pose. And then exhale, release down, curl the toes under, and bring yourself back into plank pose. Bring the feet together. We'll do the other side now. Pivot onto your right foot. Left hand on the left hip. Your left foot can come step in front of you for stability here. And bow the hips toward the ceiling. You might be able to bring the left arm into the air. And you might be able to sweep that arm overhead. Breathe. Get a deep breath in. And exhale, bring the left hand down. Again, plank yourself to the floor. Locust rise, head, chest, and legs. Exhale, release, curl the toes under, push up, and back to downward facing dog. Floating down onto hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. Take your arms down by your sides, palms face up, just giving those wrists a moment of a break. Good, taking the hands forward. Go ahead and come back up to hands and knees. Downward facing dog once again. And we're not done with plank pose yet. So in down dog, lift your right leg high into the air behind you. With your exhale, bend the right knee, bring it in toward your chest, bring the body forward into plank. Then inhale, push back out. And then exhale, bring it forward again and push back out. Let's keep going. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, lift it back up. And you can just keep moving in and out like this. If you want to increase the challenge a bit, which I think at least one of you does, you can switch which elbow the knee goes toward. So one time it'll go to the right elbow, the next it will cross over to the left, and then just keep switching. Right elbow, left elbow, right elbow, left elbow. If you want to. If not, it's okay just to keep bringing the knee forward and back. Let's do a few more, all right? Here, the last one. And extend the leg up, bring the foot down. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale to the floor. Lift up locust. Exhale, release. Curl the toes under. Push up and back. Suddenly that little middle flow starts to feel a little bit more restful. Left leg lifts. Exhale, bring the left knee into your chest, come forward into plank. Inhale, push back out. And keep going. And again, you can switch which elbow the knee comes toward each time, left then right. It's a little more challenging. Go for a little bit longer, just do your best. This can be a slow movement, this can be a quick movement, but try to move with your breath. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, knee back. A couple more times. Good, and lift the knee up, or the leg up, I should say. Bring the left foot down. Again, plank pose. Exhale, plank yourself to the floor. Locust rise, head, chest, and legs. Exhale, float down. You guessed it, push up and back. All right, so this time I'm going to have you walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into Uttanasana, the standing forward fold. Just allow the upper body to drape over the legs, releasing the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Breathing deeply. Good, palms to shins. Chest parallel to the floor, inhale, exhale, fold down. Sweep the arms out to the side of the flat back, rise all the way up. And palms to the heart. Take an adjusting breath. Whew. That one got me a little winded. Stay hydrated, y'all. All right, so it would be a vinyasa class if we didn't do arm swings, right? So just as a refresher, the feet stack underneath the hips. It's a 3-part inhale through the nose and one powerful exhale out of the mouth with the movement. So let's inhale, arms up, inhale back, inhale up, and then exhale, bend the knees, drop the body, sweep the arms behind you to inhale, come up for the next round. Moving with the breath is a perfect sequence for practicing vinyasa, and we'll go for about 2 minutes. All right? So find your steady base, find your breath. And again, you're going to try to find a pace you can maintain for the entire time. So with your next inhale, arms up, back, up, and drop. Up, back, up, and drop. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale, swing it out. Powerful exhale out of your mouth, clear your lungs, clear your respiratory system, the throat, the nostrils. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. And finding that pace you can maintain for the whole 2 minutes, you're about halfway there. 3-part inhale, powerful exhale. Let that rhythm of the breath guide you. That 3-part inhale, building energy in the body, drawing that into yourself. And that powerful exhale, just surrendering, letting go, dropping off whatever needs to be dropped off. We hold on to so much, let it go. 30 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Back to standing. Feel sensation, your breath rate, your heart rate. The breath in your body. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Using Vinyasa to help even regulate from doing something more intense. Palms to shins, halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. And fold. Halfway up. And fold. Do that a few more times on your own. One more time. Sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. Right. So sometimes we just stop and we just experience, we just feel. There are other ways to help regulate and to help witness. That was a great example of that. So we did the arm swings for a while. You might have felt kind of winded or tired. And then we come into the forward fold and we just start to tone the nervous system by inhale, extending, exhale, folding deeper. Inhale, extending, exhale, folding deeper. And you might have felt yourself actually come to a more restful place with that one. So sometimes even movement helps. Got to stay hydrated tonight. So we are going to move into our sun salutation series now. And I'm going to front load this one. We're doing 12 rounds, okay? And I'll be teaching them at a certain pace. If you need to go slower, go slower. Probably don't go too much faster unless you can actually maintain that breath-body connection, because sometimes we just start to move quickly because we can, but we lose the breath somewhere. We're not doing it with that integrity of the actual practice itself. So it'll be a fairly simple sequence. It's just the low lunges. Yes, checking my notes. It's the low lunges, one that many of you, if not all of you in the room, have done with me before. So it's not going to be too mind crazy. We're not trying to trick your brain with lefts and rights too much here. Just try to keep moving if you can. And of course, if you do need to stop for some reason, go ahead and stop. It'll go by quicker than you think it will. But those last couple of rounds, we'll see what happens there. Okay. Try to stay curious. Last caveat that I'll give you, because sometimes we can kind of get caught in the story of I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. And then we kind of start to just live in that misery. Try to keep your heart open, try to keep your mind open, try to be curious about what happens when you get past the 6th set or the 8th set or the 10th set. What happens when you reach that final 12th one? Do you get more energy toward the end? Some people do, some people do not. No expectation of what has to happen here. All right. So again, I'll be teaching at a certain pace. You're welcome to adjust that pace for your practice. Sound good? So stepping to the top of your mat, have the feet about hip distance apart, bring your palms to your heart. And again, find your breath, aware of the inhale and aware of the exhale. This is how we practice this. If you lose the breath, just bring it right back. All right, with your next inhale, stoop the arms down, back, and up. Exhale, chair prep, chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. And exhale, fold forward and down. Palms to shins, halfway up. And exhale, fold, step the right foot back. Back knee on the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up and back. Crescent lunge. And then exhale, hands to the ground, step back to downward facing dog. Now you have an option here either to move through Danda Kriya or come to plank, to the floor, to locust pose, and back to downward dog. So pick your practice, but move through that now. And you can switch that up at any point here. Good, and the right leg lifts and step it through. Help it forward. Back knee to the ground, crescent lunge, lifting on up. Then exhale, hands down, step forward, Uttanasana. Palms to shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the side, inhale, come all the way up. And palms to the heart. 1 down, 11 to go. Inhale, sweep up. Chair prep, chair pose. Sink, lift, and fold. Halfway up. And left foot steps this time. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Good, downward facing dog. Moving through your middle flow, Danda Kriya or the lighter version of it. Returning to downward facing dog. Once you're there, left leg lifts and step it through. Knee down, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold, step forward. Palms to shins. And down, all the way up. Heart. Again, inhale, lift. Chair prep, chair. Lift and fold. Halfway. Exhale, release, right leg steps back. Crescent lunge. Downward facing dog. Your middle flow, Danda Kriya, or the lighter version. Returning to downward facing dog, right leg lifts and steps. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Stepping forward, halfway, and down, all the way. And heart. Keep it going. Inhale, lift. Chair prep. Chair. Straighten the legs. and fold forward. Halfway up, extend the spine. Left foot steps back, knee to the floor. Come on up. Downward facing dog. Down to Kriya. Downward dog, lift the left leg up and step it through. Coming up, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold, step forward. Halfway up and down. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. Palms to heart, you're a third of the way there. Let's keep going, sweep up. Chair prep, chair, lift, and fold. Halfway, and down, right foot, knee down, crescent lunge. Downward facing dog. Danda Kriya. Downward facing dog, right foot lifts this time. Step it on through. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Good. Palms to the ground, step forward. Halfway up. Exhale, release. All the way up. And heart. Keeping it going. Inhale, lift. Chair prep. Chair. Sink. Lift. And fold. Halfway. Left foot. Lunge. Downward facing dog. Danda Kriya. Downward facing dog, left leg lifts and steps through, knee to the ground. Come on up, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold. Palms to shins and down. Arms out to the side, coming all the way up. Palms to heart. You're halfway there. Let's go. Inhale, lift. Chair prep. Chair. Lift and fold. Palms to shins. Exhale, release. Step the right foot back. Knee to the ground. Come on up. And down. Downward facing dog. Danda Kriya. Right leg lifts and steps. Knee down, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold. Halfway up and down. Arms out to the side, coming all the way up. Palms to the heart. Sweep up, inhale. Chair prep. Chair pose. Lift and fold. Halfway and down. Left foot steps. Knee down, crescent lunge. Downward facing dog. Danda Kriya. Left leg lifts and steps. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold, exhale. Halfway up and down, all the way up. Heart, 4 more to go. Inhale, chair prep, chair pose. Rise, fold, halfway, right foot, lunge, downward facing dog, Danda Kriya. Downward facing dog, right foot lifts. Go ahead and step it through. Knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Standing forward, fold. Palms to shins, extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, come all the way up to the heart. 3 more to go. Inhale, sweep up. Chair prep. Chair. Lift and fold. Halfway. Left foot. Lunge. Downward facing. Danda Kriya. Left foot and step. Lunge. Standing forward fold. Halfway up and down. Arms out to the side, coming all the way up. Palms to heart. 2 more to go. We're almost there. Sweep up, inhale. Chair prep. Chair. Lift and fold. Halfway. Right foot. Knee down. Come on up. Downward facing dog. Danda Kriya. Right foot and step. Knee down, crescent lunge. We're getting close, y'all. We're almost there. Step forward. Halfway up and down. All the way up, inhale. Palms to heart, the conclusion of this journey. Inhale, sweep up. Chair prep. Chair. Lift. Fold. Halfway up. Left foot steps. Lunge. Downward facing dog. Last Danda Kriya. Let's go through it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg lifts. Step it on through. Knee to the ground. Last lunge. Lift on up. Step on forward. Uttanasana. Palms to shins. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, coming all the way up. And then bring those palms to stillness at the heart. Whatever's there for you, be with it. Your heart rate, your breath rate, sensation, your mind's relationship to all of that. And even in this broader awareness, aware of the breath flowing in and flowing out, can you sense steadiness here? Or can you re-anchor in steadiness if you've moved from it? Maybe identifying in those 12 sun salutations where you might have experienced ease. Steadiness and ease. That's how we know we are practicing yoga, because we are cultivating those 2 things. Taking a deeper breath, please. And welcoming yourself on back. Probably still a little spacey, moving around a lot of blood moving through the body. Just reorienting, but you might feel your body. There might feel like there's some vitality. When we move quickly, we help to build energy in our systems. So you might feel a bit more awake, even if the body feels tired, like the mind might be a little sharper right now, or not. But sometimes that's the experience. Often when we moved around a bunch like that, when we finally come to stillness, it actually feels stiller than it did had we not done that movement to begin with. So again, these are all possibilities for you. But I'm glad nobody dropped off the call. You all made it through it. So great job with that. We're going to continue our vinyasa practice with a bit of warrior two. So stepping to the top of your mat again, go ahead and step your right foot way back. Nice wide stance. The back foot is flat on the floor, toes pointing out to the side. And the front heel is in line with the back arch. Okay? You can just have your hands on your hips to start. Take a deep breath in. Then exhale, bend your left knee toward the middle toe. Sink on in. Then inhale, come back up. And then do that again, bend the knee. And if the knee goes over the ankle, if it shoots way far over, widen your stance. Take your back foot back even further. You should be able to sink into this pose to the front thigh being about parallel to the floor. Then inhale, come back up. Sink in and up. Sink in and up. Good. Now stay here. I'll demonstrate this really quickly just so you can see it in my body before you attempt it in your own. We're gonna be moving in and out of a certain sequence. So that's why I want you to see it. We're gonna sink down into warrior two, and we're gonna try to keep this thigh exactly where it's at. It might start to pull back a little bit, but we'll fix that when that happens. So I'm gonna start with my right hand on the leg behind me, and then I'll inhale, lift the left arm up and back, coming into reverse warrior. And then I'll come into warrior two, arms up to the side. And then I'll bring my left elbow down to my left thigh and sweep the right arm up and over. Okay, so back to warrior two, and then reverse warrior. We're just gonna keep moving in and out of those postures while trying to maintain the front thigh at that parallel marker as much as we can do tonight, all right? We're challenging ourselves a bit. So go ahead and take the arms out to the side to start. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sink down into that left knee. And again, try to keep it there. Then take the right hand onto the leg behind you. Left arm lifts up, inhale. Exhale, back to warrior two. Left elbow down, right arm up and over. Inhale, reach. And exhale, return to warrior two. And then inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Side warrior. And back. And reverse warrior. And back. Let's just keep going a few more times. I know that front thigh is going to start burning a bit. It's not already. But we find the breath helps us here. Inhale, reaching to sides. Exhale, returning to warrior two. It might even tremble a little bit. That's fine. That's a little bit of discomfort in the body. We can manage a little bit of discomfort here. Let's do a couple more. Reach back, inhale. Exhale, warrior two, reach forward, inhale. Come back to warrior two. Keep the arms out to the side and then straighten the left leg. Wonderful, great job. Take a breath. And the cool thing is that to do the other side, unless you want to switch the feet around, you can just turn the angles of the feet the other direction. And you might have to like look down and make sure you're still in alignment, the back toes pointing out to the side, and the front heel lining up with the back arch. Good. Now we went in and out of the right or the left knee a couple times, so we'll do that here too. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee out toward its own middle toe, and then come back, and then sink in, and come back. Good, now straighten the leg. Take the arms out to the side. We're gonna start our flow. So take a deep breath in, exhale, float down in, get really far into that thigh. Again, parallel to the floor as much as you can, sink in there. And then keep it there. Inhale, left arm down, right arm up, reverse warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Right elbow down, left arm up and over. Exhale back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Side warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Keep that front knee bending. I know it's hard. Side warrior. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Side warrior. Let's do a couple more rounds. Again, it's okay if that thigh is shaken. It's okay if it's burning a bit. It's burning up karma, all right? Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Then inhale, straighten the thigh. And release the arms on down. Take a breath, feel sensation. And why don't we actually just turn the toes parallel, so directly forward, even pigeon toeing a little bit here. Good. And then from here, let's fold forward into wide leg forward fold. Hands or fingertips on the ground. Then inhale, lift yourself up halfway. Exhale, fold. We've done this before. Inhale, halfway up. And fold. We'll let this be a soothing movement with the breath. Halfway up. And down. Keep going. Steadiness and ease. Let's do one more. All right, so when you're ready, go ahead and transition to downward facing dog. However you want to find yourself in downward dog, just make your way there now. And once you've landed in down dog, you can stay there for a few breaths if you'd like to. We're eventually all going to come to child's pose. And you might want to come there immediately, or you might want to hang out in down dog for a moment. Even in these still moments, aware of the breath. Again, the breath is home. So we return to every time we leave. So staying in child's pose, at least for the start, we're going to practice rabbit pose next. So relax your forearms and relax the hairline or the top of the forehead to the ground. Now you're not going to effort in your arms or shoulders at all here. They're just kind of there to stabilize you so you don't fall over. And with your next inhale, keeping the head on the floor, do not pick up the head. Keeping the head on the floor, go ahead and lift the hips off the heels and rock from the hairline to the top of your head. And then exhale, release the hips down, rocking from the top of the head back down to the hairline or the top of the forehead. Then lift the hips, rock forward again, stopping at the top of the head. And then exhale, release the hips back, coming back to the hairline, and just keep going, all right? In and out. And when you're rocking into the pose, when you're lifting the hips, don't go any further than the top of your head. Don't try to rock to the back of the head. That's going to overstrain the neck and cause other issues. Just from the hairline to the crown and back. Inhale, rocking into the pose. Exhale, rocking out. Really allow the breath to be part of this experience. Again, the breath linked with the movement is what makes this vinyasa. The breath isn't linked, it's just movement. It's not yoga. We'll continue moving in and out of this pose for about another half minute or so. Just keep moving with your breath. Inhale, rocking in, and exhale, rocking out. And then with your next exhale, coming back to child's pose, go ahead and stay. Just notice any effects of that practice on your system, your body, your energetic state, your state of mind. And then please take a deeper, fuller breath. Carefully bring yourself on up. Good job. Let's go ahead and come on to our backs for just a few more exercises. But we'll do them on our backs. Shavasana's coming, I promise. Y'all worked hard for it tonight. There's just a few more things we have to do to counterpose. So coming into bridge prep, heels stacking underneath your knees, hip width apart, arms by your sides. With your next inhale, go ahead and lift the arms all the way overhead, knuckles on the floor above you, and pick up the hips, pressing the hips toward the ceiling. Then exhale, release the arms and hips down. Inhale, lift back up again. And exhale, release down again. Keep moving. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do a couple more, all right? And then exhale, coming on down. Go ahead and walk your feet about 6 inches further away from the hips, so forward. And take your feet as wide apart as your yoga mat. Keep the feet wide apart. Your arms can relax out to the sides. Go ahead and rock the knees to one side. Exhale, bring them back to center, and then inhale, take the knees to the other side. Exhale, back to center. Inhale to the side. Exhale back. Inhale to the other side. And as you're exhaling, bringing the hips and knees back to center, feel your lower back ground powerfully to the earth as you do that. Inhale to the side, keeping the feet mat distance or width apart. Unwinding tension, maybe in your lower back or the sides of the body. It's definitely worked hard tonight. And if you want to, as the knees are going from side to side, you could turn the chin from side to side, the chin going the opposite direction of the knees. Inhaling to a side and exhaling to center. We'll go for just a little bit longer. Just a couple more times. Good, and then bring the knees back to center and go ahead and hug them into your chest. Good. So holding the knees to chest, you may want to rock gently from side to side. Just breathe as you do so. Massaging the back body into the floor, into your mat. Maybe circling the hips a little bit here. All right. So as you feel complete here, go ahead and stop and extend your legs down to the floor. Bring any support where you need it, but make yourself ready to rest here in Shavasana, corpse pose, our final resting posture. Feel free to turn down lighting in your space. Again, you've earned it. You've worked hard tonight. Not that you had to work hard necessarily to deserve resting, but you deserve to rest. So as you rest, take a deep breath in and out. And remind yourself that you are practicing Shavasana. And while it is sometimes physically the simplest posture, it's often referred to as the most difficult. Because it's very hard to stay present in this pose, to be able to turn off distractions from the world around you, yet remain completely present with this resting state. How do we do that? We do that with the breath. The belly rises as you inhale. The belly relaxes as you exhale. And through the breath, you create a sense of steadiness. In truth, in yoga, we don't actually seek stillness because change is constant. We seek steadiness in change, which can feel like stillness. And in that practice, we seek ease, a sense of comfort. Can you be steady and at ease here? Doing your best to keep present to that steadiness, to that ease, to the gift of this moment. Stay with it and breathe. peace, 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 steadiness and ease, staying steady, staying at ease. Take a deeper, fuller breath and allow that breath to invite movement to your hands and feet, your arms and legs. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to your right. And coming on up to a seat as you are ready. So once you do come to a seat, go ahead and sit tall. Your hands resting on your thighs or knees, shoulders relaxed down your back, and the crown is lifting toward the sky. Again, asana, our yoga physical practice, is all to prepare us for this moment, to be comfortable in a seat, to be steady enough in a seat so that we can move into the other limbs, the other deeper states of being. So even if it's not your total 100% experience right now, see if you can identify the aspects of your physical experience that are steady, are grounded, soft and comfortable. What already feels at ease? What already feels steady? And wherever you feel that in your body or your energy, allow it to just grow like light, expanding within you. It's not discounting the fact that there might be some discomfort, but it's not allowing the discomfort to be the totality of your experience. Allow there to be a critical mass of steadiness, a critical mass of ease within your system. Identify with that experience. Knowing that this practice of movement tonight has helped to cultivate this capacity. We've moved through change, we've moved through challenge, and we've maintained the breath. We've maintained steadiness and ease to the best of our abilities. As you move into your world, your lives, your circumstance, as things continue to change, to ebb, to flow, allow the breath to be your home, to bring you back to that steadiness. And even knowing that, even with all the movement around you, that there's something within you that is always still and steady, is always at ease, ready for you to re-identify with it when you lose your way. So keeping that with you, take a deeper, fuller breath, palms to heart, bowing the chin, bowing to yourself. You worked so hard here tonight. So much gratitude for all of that effort, willing to experience this. And may all of that effort and tonight's practice, may it all continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.